Well, Steve is taking part in the Fedora Open, and Mickey was a teacher of yours?
A teacher and a coach.
And you attended Camel.
Yes, ma'am.
So he always wore a fedora.
Yes, he did.
And why do you come out every year and participate in this to honor him?
Great guy, great event. Good to see a lot of friends, and you're just doing a good thing for a good cause.
Well, Denise is Mickey's sister, and you come every year for this golf outing. And I mean, look at the impact that Mickey has had on so many people's lives.
Yes, it's been amazing. Like I said, I never started this on my own. This was something that other people came to me and said, hey, we'd like to do this. And we want it to be permanent. We want it to be a endowed situation. So that's what we've been working towards, is to put something together that will go on in perpetuity.
And, you know, what kind of scholarships and that have been granted through this foundation?
We grant about $4,000 scholarships every year. And then what we've done lately, though, is branch out. We've put a form out on the website for the teachers and staff that can actually propose a project, and then the board evaluates it and then approves it, and most of them get approved. We don't just do scholarships. We wanted to make sure that a lot of students have the opportunity to benefit from what Mickey would have loved to have seen happen.
I mean, so many people have such a connection with him as a teacher. And I mean, he really was involved at the high school level with, you know, kids, even if he didn't teach them, huh?
Exactly. Even if he didn't teach you, you had a connection to Mr. Soroka. I don't want to get emotional, but seriously, I don't know if I'd be where I am today if it wasn't for him and all he did for me. Even coming back after I graduated, I took calculus. I took calculus in college, and I didn't even have to open my book because that's how much he taught us in calculus. But really, his lessons kind of, covered life in general. And I remember talking to him as in my career, and I was like, I don't know if I'm happy right now. I don't know what to do. And he looked at me and he said, that's okay. And he looked at me and he said, and he had a nickname for all of us. I'm not going to say it on air, but he said, you know what? You can admit you're not happy, but do something about it.
Well, another fundraiser that goes to the Soroka Foundation is their pancake dinner. And that's held every year in March. Mm-hmm. Right around St. Patrick's Day. And Kevin heads up that fundraiser. And again, that you serve thousands of people that day.
Yeah, and it's I think we're in the upper hundreds of it, but every year we're getting a lot more people, and it's a great benefit. We have a lot of great workers there and a lot of good people that come. And
it's over at St. Joseph the Provider Church in Camel. And what is your association with Mickey?
Mickey was a teacher of mine.
Rick Ozier is the golf coach at Camel and a teacher, and this is a fundraiser for the golf team too, right?
Yes, since the inception of the Fedora, Coach Mick was always a real big part of the school and athletics.
Well, cheering up the Fedora Open is John Palmer, and your association with Mickey goes back to college. You were roommates?
Yes, we were roommates at Youngstown State University.
And obviously this is to honor him and you really miss him, but it doesn't seem like you have a hard time getting people to donate their time or their money, because he must have been a beloved guy.
Yeah, Soroka was, he was friends with everybody. No matter who you talk to, when they talk about Mickey, they talk about him being a friend.
I mean, you are all over the place helping people in the Camel school system.
Yeah, we're helping not only the Soroka Foundation, but also the Camel golf team and the Camel cheerleaders as well.
And how long do you think we'll be able to sustain this?
Oh, this could go on for years. And Eric Gonzalez is welcome to run this for many, many years. We've done 7 years at this point, and I'm happy to be part of it, and I'm happy to turn it over to Eric.
Well, the Fedora is always held right here at beautiful Bedford Trails Golf Course, and you are now going to take over this event. Eric Gonzalez, and you were a former student of his?
I was a former student of Mickey's. I'm one of the few that probably had the pleasure of having Mickey as a student. Was working with Mickey for a long time, and then we were really good friends as that all came about too. So
And now you said he was a groomsman in your wedding?
He was. People see pictures at times and they kind of say like, "Mr. Soroka was in your wedding?" And
love that,
yeah,
Mr.
Mr. Soroka. I didn't refer to him as Mr. Soroka anymore, but yeah, Mick and I were really close. He was one of the groomsmen in my wedding.
Okay, now I've got to just ask. You work with the Camel schools now,
I do. Yes.
and you really see the benefit of this foundation and what it's done for the school system.
Yeah, it's been one of the things I guess I enjoy seeing. Being in the buildings, I actually get to see what we're doing as a foundation kind of roll out into the buildings.
And I love your fedora.
Actually, there's a story behind that one. When Mickey passed away, the family did give me a fedora. So
Is that Mickey's?
this is Mickey's fedora. I wear it for the outing, and then I put it back on the shelf. It's the only time I wear it, so it is one of his.